Well, here we go, y'all. It's time for a debt confession update video from me. I want to share with you guys how it went for 2024. It really didn't go at all, y'all. So I want to just start fresh and get a fresh take on all my numbers because they are so chaotic. And I love being honest and transparent with everyone. And I appreciate all the support you guys always give me when I choose to post this type of content. It is a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot. So if you're new to my channel, what's up? Thank you for tuning in. Let's talk about all things budgeting, debt freedom, and saving and investing. If that's something you're into or trying to get into, then this is the video for you. I like sharing my real and actual numbers in hopes of helping someone else in their money journey. So if that's something you want to see, then stick around. So I'm going to be sharing with you guys our numbers for January 2025. I have taken the past couple days to just look over everything. I've done a debt confession video before. I think it was early 2024 or late 2023. And in that video, I shared our numbers related to the HELOC, but I wasn't really forthcoming with the whole big picture, like what we're doing with our car payment and what those numbers look like now, and what we're doing with our consumer debt that we still have outside of the HELOC. So that's what I'm going to share today because I've never actually calculated all of it together. If you are also new, I'll also share that we have been on this debt-free journey before. We were debt-free, I believe, in 2020 or 2021, right in the middle of COVID. It was crazy. It was crazy. Might have even been the end of 2019. I have to look back and see when our debt freedom versary was. But anyway, a lot has happened since then. We paid off a ton of debt very quickly. We were able to increase our income and make some moves. The market, everything, life was good. Okay, groceries were so cheap back then. Groceries were so cheap. But anyway, here we are now with a lot of new debt. And I can honestly say that this is not debt that I have taken on in the form of like shopping sprees and all types of just like, you know, casual debt. I call it irresponsible spending. This is a lot of debt related to medical things and just not really budgeting the way I should. And so, you know, it used to just come a lot easier for me to make large debt payments and just knock it out and save money and do all the things. And I just noticed in 2024, I didn't really care. I didn't really care, y'all. And when you stop caring and you stop looking at your numbers, interest has a field day. And so that is what I have. And that's what I'm looking at right now. And these numbers are out of pocket. Normally people wait to the end of their videos. I've watched a few of these and, you know, add it all up. I've already added it up. I couldn't wait for y'all. I had to know the damage. It's over $200,000. We are talking, you know, home, car, and consumer credit card debt. I don't have any student loans. We paid those off the first time we became debt free. So I am just ready to start fresh and start hitting the ground running. So let's jump right in. So I am going to be inside of my income budgeting planner. And this is a 12-month undated planner. Keeps it very simple. It's kind of like a bird's eye view of your numbers and what you're trying to achieve. It will help you to stay on task. It is flexible, has a lot of blank spacing, so you can choose to use the page in the way that you really want to. And so I am going to be referring to the credit cards page, and I will definitely throw a picture up so that you guys can see what we are working with. But I have a total of 15 credit cards at the moment. And you guys, I have spoken with, you know, close friends who are debt-free, especially consumer debt-free. And the common theme that I noticed when talking to them is that they don't have a lot of credit cards and they don't have a lot of bank accounts. And that is something that for the last 3 months, going into the new year, I have been like zoned in on. I really wanted to close out bank accounts we weren't using. I wanted to eventually close some of these credit cards that I don't need. And that'll happen over time. I'm not going to do it all at once, but y'all, it's hitting me. Looking at the numbers, it's hitting me. Okay. Just a reminder, please be nice in the comments. If you can't be nice, you can make your point respectfully. You don't have to be nasty. Shout out to all the people who have always been good with money. Y'all are still my heroes, and I aspire to be like you one day. I've just always been bad with money. This is the honest and true reality, and it's something that I've always shared in my channel. And so this is where we are. So 15 credit cards, 3 of them are paid in full. That is the rental property credit card, my daughter's credit card for her business, and a random Synchrony credit card that I totally forgot about that I swore they would have closed down by now. But I did end up using that for some medical stuff, and I've already paid that off. So at this point in time, we are down to 12 credit cards with large balances, very, very large balances. You can see I have a Venture card. This is a series of things. So the Venture and the Spark and the RA card are my business credit cards for the products you see behind me. It's to make money, you do have to spend money. And so what I try to do is I try to make large bulk purchases so that I don't have to, buy 10 of something. I'll go ahead and buy 100 of something if, I'm meeting that demand. But I was not conscious at all with my money in 2024. And I don't know where it went. That's the honest truth. There were car repairs, there was medical events, there was, just things. And I just found myself mentally I just had like this clog. Like I wasn't really thinking clearly. I wasn't focused on my money, and that money just skedaddled. Okay. It scooted on out of here. And 2025, I took a break. I did that mental reset, and I feel excited to get back in it because debt ain't it. So, very large minimum payments. You can see Venture, $536 a month. Amex, $675 a month. And that was a bad attempt at doing a balance transfer. And that is why I'm not doing anything else. The debt is where it's going to be right now until it's paid off. I'm not moving it to anything else. So the HELOC is still being paid down slowly, with the minimum monthly payments every month because that interest is still lower. So the goal is to eventually move some of these large debts to the HELOC. But for right now, we're keeping everything where it is because I just want to hit one card really hard every month. And so I'll come back with an update later this month because I've already started that. So then you can see we have, other credit card minimums for like $406.86, $450, $513, Prime, $770, y'all. That's the one I threw my tax payment on for last year. If you want to know what happened with that and the just tomfoolery that I dealt with in regards to being scammed by my tax person, then check out the video that I'm sure will be somewhere up in here, eye in the sky. But yeah, these are just numbers that I have not really looked at. I don't have any other excuses. It's not like this is new debt. This is like debt that I've had for the past 5 years. Since we became debt free. Now, the only new debt is the tax debt, the medical debt, and things for the car. So my goal in 25 is not just to pay down debt. It's also to build our savings because honestly, we didn't have enough money saved. We got to $10,000 and we thought we were good. And $10,000 is just not enough. That equaled our monthly expenses for 3 months. But we should have just kept going. We should have just kept saving, and we didn't. So know better, do better. So yeah, you can see all of the credit cards listed. So the credit card that I'm going to start with, I'm going to do it the old fashioned Dave Ramsey way and start with credit card number 4, the RA card. It has the lowest balance. All of my cards pretty much have the same amount of interest. Like the APR is the same. So I really can start anywhere we want. I'm focused on number 4 and number 5 because and Prime. Let me know in the comments, which one would you start with first? I will let you know that I already made a large payment toward the Amex just because that's the one I was sick of. Like, it was like almost $800, almost $800. So this is a classic example of lifestyle inflation. You make more money, but you're spending more money and you're not just you're not making good money decisions. And so I just want to share my journey in hopes that it wakes someone else up and helps them, and also in hopes that it reaches someone who's really good with their money and they may not know that they're good with their money. Shout out to you. You're doing better than you think. So when you add all of the monthly minimums up, I actually calculated it. This is where it really stung, y'all. $4,401.41 that I need to send to debt every month, no matter what, bare minimum. And I can remember the last time that I was really serious about paying down debt, just to show you how interest is interest when you aren't really paying attention. We used to pay like $2,000 a month in credit card minimums, or just debt towards debt, period. I think that even included the car payment. So yeah. Oh, and I guess I should have also shared this. We are what people may consider a high income earning family. We bring in $10,000 plus every month. Some months is $20,000 per month. So you're talking about a lot of money coming in and a lot of money going out. So yeah, let me know in the comments what you would do if you were in my situation, what you would start with, what you would be focused on. All I can think in my head right now is, yes, pay down debt, but also build that savings up to a real number that can really save you in situations where you need that money to come through. So let's see. Okay, so if you add all of that credit card debt up, it comes to $144,570.54. I never in my life would have ever thought that we had that much credit card debt. That's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. Another thing, I think I mentioned in passing, like credit card number one is the rental property. We do have a rental property, and I have mixed feelings about that. You know, there's a lot of expenses that come with that property, a lot of hidden in plain sight type expenses. Property taxes went up. I mean, our property taxes pretty much tripled in 2024. We paid almost $3,000 in property taxes for the year. We used to pay $500-$600 for the year. So there were a lot of things that just started happening where it's like, okay, I have to start putting some of this money to the side that I'm making from, you know, rental property income. We have a property manager. Her rate went up, which it should. She does a really good job with our property. Everything went up. Cutting the grass, keeping the grass cut went up. Like, it's just like everything went up. Even our income went up, but we were just not paying attention. We were focused on other stuff, the medical stuff, I had the mental stuff. So I try to be as transparent as possible. So here we are again. Okay, so we talked about the credit card debt. Now let's talk about, because we are at 12 minutes already. Oh my goodness. Now let's talk about the HELOC. So the HELOC, we have a $100,000 HELOC loan that we can actively draw from for the next 15 to 18 years. We're about 2 years into that. I believe January this month is our 2-year anniversary of that. So we have about 18 years left to use this HELOC to pay down debt more quickly. It right now sits at $95,357.91. That doesn't really tell the story because I've gotten this HELOC down to $60,000 or $70,000. Even when I wasn't really trying in 2024. And there are a few updates that I've shared in past videos, but every time I would get that balance down, I would just add more debt, transfer more credit card debt to the HELOC in an attempt to just, again, knock it down quickly. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. I know I said I would do that. We'll revisit that once I see some real progress with the HELOC and with the credit cards, the balance. I will be tracking it monthly and sharing it with you guys. So yeah, that's where we are right now. I have a minimum of $960 and change that I pay to the HELOC every month, which helps to get the balance down. The interest is literally like 9%, I believe, which is still high, but it's better than a credit card interest that we have. So that is the HELOC update. Kind of like not really much to say on that because it doesn't really change often. The car was the most notable change. Okay, this is where I really would love to hear people's input. So our car balance is down to $25,000, just over. like $25,700. Micah wants to go ahead and pay it off. He's like, you should make that the debt that you focus on, because our car payment is $888 a month. And yes, that's a lot of money. We share one car. So, you know, I always look at it as get the car that you really want, because the car payment is going to be ridiculous anyway. People are like, oh, my car payment is $200. My car payment is $400. Well, for us, we would literally be driving 2 cars. But we are choosing to drive 1 car, share that car, make it work, and just get the car we really wanted. That's honestly the reality. We didn't put any money down on it. We didn't do anything that we had options, and we just didn't do it. We bought the car back in 2021. And so it's set to be paid off by next year at the rate that we're going. But I think like December, I think the payoff date is like December next year. We could technically make every month count this year and knock out the car payment and start 2025 with all of that car payment money going toward the credit card debt snowball. That's Micah's take. He's like, forget the interest, forget all of that. It's just not having a mortgage payment other than a HELOC and not having a car payment. We would literally be putting all of our resources toward, all of our extra resources to the credit cards. The Dave Ramsey in me just wants to start with the smaller credit card first. It's just like, what do you do? What do you do? Okay. There's no wrong answer. The one thing we always say is there's no wrong answers in this, because the point is we're still paying things down quickly. I put my numbers in. It said in like a random debt payoff calculator, it said it would take 10 years for us to pay it down. I think that's a lie. I think it would take 20, if I'm being honest. And the goal is for us to retire my husband, for me to continue working, and for him to pursue, part-time work. He has plenty of things that he can do. He's in fire alarm. It's a very specific niche, and it's very high paying, especially depending on where you live. Things can be really good for you. So we're just trying to weigh our options and make a decision that makes sense for all 3 of us. We have a daughter going into high school. It's a lot. But if you add all of the minimums up for the HELOC, the car, and the credit cards, it comes to $6,250.09. Excuse me. And I looked at our average income for 2024. I'm going to see what it is. I think, had about 175,000 in take-home pay. So it should have been more than that. So our average monthly income for 2024 was about $15,000. It was just like $14,500, $583. So you're talking about half of that. So if you take away $6,250 a month, that leaves us with about $8,300 to live off of for the month, to pay down debt with, to do whatever with. So like I said, we did increase our income in 2024. So now it's just a matter of really making it count. We don't do a lot of spending. The only 2 things we still do, even in this debt payoff journey, is eat the food that we really want to eat and travel. And we cash flow all of our travel. So I'm very proud to see, that I always, even if I do use a credit card, I always pay the travel off. So yeah, and we still travel because we want to see our parents. They both live in 2 separate places, and that's pretty much the direction we go every time we do travel, is to spend time with either my parents or his parents. They're not getting any younger, and neither are we. Tomorrow's not promised, and that's something we're gonna still do once a year. So outside of that, we may take a small trip to like a neighboring island. We live in Hawaii, if I didn't mention that already. We have an anniversary trip planned in March that is using a timeshare. So literally no money. If you know, you know. We don't have the timeshare. It belongs to someone else. But just trying to make cheap trips happen while we are honed in on this. So yeah, that's my update on our debt. It's not cute, but we're ready to hit it hard once again. I've even considered, like, people, I look at other people's debt confessions and people suggest, you know, just filing for bankruptcy. I've even considered that. But I really want to give myself 12 months, 12 serious months to do this thing and see if I can really move the needle like I used to. If you know and you've watched my videos before, I used to make moves, baby. I used to pay down debt so flawlessly. So just getting back in that mindset. It really is mindset, and it's proof that it can be done. There's plenty of YouTubers on here who are doing it, have done it, and they're on to the next thing. So don't ever feel like, you know, you're in such a deep hole that you can't dig yourself out of it. It is very much possible. But anyway, that's it for today's video. I'll see you guys in the next one. Until then, you know what it is. Peace, love, and budgets.